In this time, in this world, there's a lot of people that are feeling very lost, that their career is threatened, their family life is not what they expected, and human design has the possibility to introduce an individual to themselves. It's almost like they get the possibility to have a very strong view in the mirror of what it is they're here to live out. I like to get a person's full name and also their date of birth, place of birth, and as close as possible their time of birth. And from this I can then draw up the chart for them. So my great pleasure to look into your human design chart with you today, Melissa. And to draw up this chart for you, I worked from your birth information. What I do with the birth information is I work out exactly where it was in space that you appeared in this lifetime, relative to the planets in our solar system, relative to the stars and the star fields all around us. So we're looking at a very universal picture here. We're drawing right from the edge of our universe, projecting inwards through our solar system, finding you right in the middle of it all. What we're saying with human design is the star fields always stay in exactly the same place around us. What changes is the placements of things within our solar system. Now, you know, in astrology we divide the sky up into 12, what we call signs of the zodiac. In human design, instead of 12, we divide the sky up into 64. And the 64 has bearing in at least two areas. First of all, it relates to hexagrams in the I Ching, the Chinese Book of Changes, in which there are 64 hexagrams, each one of which contains 6 lines. The second thing it relates to is our human genetic code. Apparently in our coding we've got 64 genetic codons associating with 6 bases. So there's an exact correlation between hexagrams in the I Ching and the human genetic code. What we're doing with human design is we're drawing the parallel between the two. So in the end what we're going to be doing here is reading the genetic makeup for the vehicle in which your consciousness finds itself for this lifetime. Certainly I really enjoy having in-person readings, but I've read for people all over this planet at various times. Many people have lost their direction, and I'm not just talking in national terms, I'm talking about worldwide, that a lot of the things that have been set in place do not work anymore. So I see human design being able to be introduced to every single person on the planet. From the placements of the planets around us at various times, we draw up our life chart and find out what's going on for us. These 2 columns of hexagram informations we carry across and we put into this life chart on the right side of the page. In this life chart there are 9 energy centers. These centers are either triangular in shape or square in shape. Some are colored in with colors, some are colored in white. Each of the centers relates to an organ or a gland in our physiology. They're linked together to each other by what we call channels. There are 36 of these channels, and these channels running energy between these various centers together. This channel that you have connected between the sacral and the emotion center is the channel of intimacy. You are very intimate with people. Whether you've met them the first time, whether you've known them all your life, people just pick up from you, oh, this Melissa, you know, strike up a friendship immediately. And then on either ends of all these channels there are what we call gateways. There are 64 of these gateways. So these gateways actually accord to the various hexagrams in the wheel around us here. So when 2 gates are colored in like that on a channel, the whole channel's been completed. Wherever this happens in design, we call this a definition. When we get definition, we color in the 2 centers on either ends of that. And what that indicates to us is, energetically, these 2 centers are turned on, running, consistent, reliable, 24/7 for your lifetime. I've been reading for people for about 30 years, and the first 15 years of that I was reading people's hands. I just found I had a knack for it. I was introduced to human design in 1993 when it was first brought to America, and I engaged with it right away and found I had a knack for that too. So I've been working now for 15 years with human design. Generally I tell people to expect to have a 90-minute session. In the 90 minutes I can tell them every aspect about themselves, and I always send people the CD or the MP3 recording of their session. We're able to give anyone with a human design life chart what we call their 3 keys. These are their type, authority, and profile. These three keys are a real, personal, practical, and empowering means for anyone to engage with at any time to find a more fulfilling experience of their life. When people live according to their own nature, they are in accord with nature. Nobody comes in this life to live out somebody else's lifetime, but so many people find themselves living according to other people's agendas, trying to be somebody else, trying to look up to somebody, and moving away from their own perfect nature. Everyone has a unique design. Everyone has a unique plan in life. And it's just human design can pinpoint what that is. So for instance, if you're born into a family and you're the son or the daughter, it doesn't mean to say that you're in any way living your life the same way that your parents did. And when you understand your design and when the parents understand the design of their children, everyone can get along an awful lot better and can be directed towards those things in their life that have greatest meaning for them.